My story happened 2 years ago in Chicago at the Congress Plaza Hotel on South Michigan Avenue. I wasn't there for any ghost tour or paranormal stuff, I was there for work. I had an early morning meeting at a nearby convention center, so my company booked me a 2-night stay. The hotel is old, like really old. It opened in the 1800s and you can feel it as soon as you walk in. The lobby looks beautiful in photos, but when you're standing there alone at night, it feels like the walls are watching you. I remember checking in around 11:30 p.m. The front desk guy looked exhausted but friendly. When he saw my room number, he paused slightly. "Room 712, he said, then added quietly, "If you need anything, just call the desk." It didn't register at the time, I just nodded and went up. When I stepped out of the elevator, I immediately noticed how heavy the silence was on the 7th floor. Most hotel hallways have that low hum of life, TVS, people talking, doors opening and closing. But the 7th floor felt empty. My footsteps echoed too loudly. My room 712 was at the end of the hall. As soon as I opened the door, a cold draft hit my face. Not AC cold, basement cold. I brushed it off, threw my bag on the bed, showered, and went straight to sleep. At exactly 3:04 a.m., something woke me up. A sound. At first, I thought it was part of my dream, but as I listened closely, I realized someone was knocking. Not on my door, on the wall behind my headboard. 3 slow knocks, then silence, then 3 more. I sat up, confused and still half asleep. Maybe the room next to mine was occupied and someone was drunk. But then I remembered room 713 was empty. During check-in, I heard the staff telling someone on the phone that 713 was closed for renovation. The knocking stopped after about a minute. I stayed awake for another hour before finally drifting off. The next morning, I told myself it was plumbing. Old hotels make weird sounds, no big deal, but that night, it got worse. Around 2:50 a.m., I started hearing footsteps outside my door. Slow ones, not hotel guest walking speed, more like someone dragging their feet. They walked past my door once, then came back, then stopped right outside. I held my breath, waiting. Then the knock came, this time on my door. 3 slow knocks. I froze. I didn't move or say a word. My heart was beating so loud I swear whoever was on the other side could hear it. A woman's voice whispered, "Let me in." It wasn't a scream, it wasn't angry, it was desperate, broken, like someone who had been crying for hours. I grabbed my phone immediately and called the front desk. The same guy from last night answered. I whispered, "Someone is knocking on my door, a woman, she's saying to let her in." He didn't sound surprised, not even shocked. Instead, he sighed. "Don't open the door," he said, "just stay where you are. I'm sending security." His calmness scared me more than the knocking. Security arrived 5 minutes later. I heard them talking outside. "Sir, this is hotel security." I opened the door. They checked the hallway, empty. One of the guards asked, "Did you see her face?" I said no. He exchanged a knowing look with the other guard. When I asked what was going on, he just said, "Some guests report hearing a woman crying on this floor. It's an old building. Sometimes sound travels weird." It was a bad lie, a very bad lie. I barely slept the rest of the night. The next day during my conference, I Googled Congress Plaza Hotel room 712. My stomach dropped when I saw the results. Woman mysteriously died on 7th floor. The crying woman of Congress Plaza, room 712 and 713, haunted reports. One article mentioned a woman in the early 1900s who jumped from the 12th floor with her children after years of abuse. Another story talked about guests seeing a woman staring at them from hallways, asking for help. I decided I wasn't staying another night. I went back to the hotel around 9 p.m., ready to check out and go somewhere else. But the front desk guy wasn't there. A different woman was working, and when I asked to change rooms or leave early, she said, "We're fully booked tonight, you can check out tomorrow morning." I begged. She insisted there were no open rooms. I went back to 712, terrified. Around midnight, I turned the TV on full volume just to distract myself. At 2:58 a.m., the TV shut off by itself. I stared at the black screen. Then the knocking started again, slow, deliberate, on my door. I didn't move. The voice came back, weaker this time, fragile. "Please, please let me in, I'm cold." My eyes filled with tears. It sounded real. It sounded like an actual woman in pain, but something in me knew this wasn't human. The doorknob twisted, violently, like someone trying to break in. I backed away, trembling. Then, through the tiny opening under the door, I saw something slide in. Fingers, pale, bending at impossible angles. I screamed and ran to the far wall. Suddenly, everything stopped. No knocking, no footsteps, no voice, just silence. I didn't sleep after that. The second the sun rose, I packed my things and went to the lobby. The same guy from the first night was back. When he saw me, he didn't even ask for my room number. He just said, "Did she knock again?" I nodded. He sighed deeply and said, "She always does. She died waiting for someone to open the door." I left Chicago that morning and never went back. But sometimes, in cheap motels or airports, when the hallway gets too quiet late at night, I swear I still hear her whisper, "Let me in."